Sunflower oil is one of the most widely used vegetable oils in the world. It is extracted from the seeds of sunflowers, which are grown in many countries, but especially in Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is the world's largest producer and exporter of sunflower oil, accounting for about 60% of global output and 80% of global shipments. India is the world's largest importer of sunflower oil, buying about 2 million tons annually, mostly from Ukraine. But why does India prefer sunflower oil over other types of oils? And how does Ukraine manage to dominate the global market for this commodity? Let's find out. India's demand for sunflower oil is driven by several factors. First, sunflower oil has a high smoke point, which means it can withstand high temperatures without burning or losing its nutritional value. This makes it ideal for frying and cooking Indian dishes, such as curries, samosas, pakoras, and dosas. Second, sunflower oil has a neutral taste and aroma, which does not interfere with the flavor of spices and herbs used in Indian cuisine. Third, sunflower oil is rich in vitamin E and omega-6 fatty acids, which are beneficial for skin health and cardiovascular health. Fourth, sunflower oil is relatively cheaper than other oils, such as olive oil, coconut oil, or mustard oil. Ukraine's success in producing and exporting sunflower oil is based on several factors. First, Ukraine has a favorable climate and soil for growing sunflowers, which are native to the region. Sunflowers can tolerate droughts and frosts better than other crops, such as wheat or corn. Second, Ukraine has a well-developed infrastructure and logistics for processing and transporting sunflower seeds and oil. Ukraine has more than 100 crushing plants that can process about 15 million tons of sunflower seeds per year. Ukraine also has access to major ports on the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, which facilitate exports to Europe, Asia, and Africa. Third, Ukraine has a competitive advantage in terms of price and quality of sunflower oil. Ukraine can produce sunflower oil at a lower cost than other countries, thanks to its abundant supply of raw materials and low labor costs. Ukraine also adheres to high standards of quality and safety for its sunflower oil products, which are certified by international organizations such as ISO and FSSC. However, Ukraine's sunflower oil trade with India is not without challenges. In February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine and disrupted the normal flow of goods and services between the two countries. This put at risk shipments of more than 350,000 tons of sunflower oil to India that were contracted for delivery in February and March. India had to look for alternative sources of sunflower oil from Argentina and Russia to meet its domestic demand. The situation eased in July 2022, when Russia and Ukraine reached a deal to resume agricultural exports from Ukraine through some Black Sea corridors. India was able to restart its imports of sunflower oil from Ukraine starting in September. The future prospects of Ukraine's sunflower oil trade with India depend on several factors. On the one hand, India's demand for sunflower oil is expected to grow as its population increases and its income levels rise. India may also benefit from a duty-free import quota of 2 million tons of sunflower oil per year that was granted by the Indian government in 2022-23 and 2023-24 to boost domestic supplies and lower prices. On the other hand, Ukraine's supply of sunflower oil may face uncertainties due to geopolitical tensions with Russia, weather fluctuations that affect crop yields, and competition from other producers such as Argentina and Turkey. In conclusion, Ukraine is the world's largest exporter of sunflower oil and India is its biggest buyer. This trade relationship is based on mutual benefits. India gets a cheap and healthy cooking oil that suits its culinary preferences. Ukraine gets a lucrative market that absorbs most of its production surplus. However, this trade relationship also faces challenges. India has to cope with price volatility and supply disruptions caused by external factors. Ukraine has to deal with political instability and market competition that threaten its dominant position. Sunflower oil is one of the most widely consumed edible oils in India. It is mainly imported from Ukraine, which is the world's largest producer and exporter of this oilseed. However, the recent war between Ukraine and Russia has disrupted the global supply and trade of sunflower oil, affecting both the Indian consumers and the government. The war, which started in November 2022 after Russia invaded Ukraine, led to a blockade of the Black Sea ports that are crucial for exporting sunflower oil and other agricultural commodities from Ukraine. This resulted in a shortage of sunflower oil in the international market and a surge in its prices. According to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, the global vegetable oils price index reached an all-time high of 251.8 points in March 2022, with sunflower oil prices rising more than any other oil. The high prices of sunflower oil had a direct impact on the Indian consumers, who had to pay more for their cooking oil. Sunflower oil prices in India increased by about 50% between November 2021 and April 2022, reaching Rs. 215 per liter at the retail level. This added to the inflationary pressures in the country, which was already facing high food and fuel prices due to the COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath. The Indian government took several measures to curb the inflation and ease the burden on the consumers. One of them was to cut the import duty on sunflower oil from 35% to 15% in February. This reduced the landed cost of sunflower oil imports by about $200 per ton. Another measure was to allow duty-free imports of sunflower oil up to 1.5 million tons under a tariff rate quota scheme until September. This increased the availability of sunflower oil in the domestic market and lowered its prices. In addition to these measures, India also diversified its sources of sunflower oil imports to reduce its dependence on Ukraine. India increased its imports from other sunflower oil-producing countries like Argentina, Turkey, and Hungary, which offered lower prices than Ukraine. India also imported more palm oil and soybean oil, which are cheaper alternatives to sunflower oil. These steps helped India to bring down the sunflower oil prices by about 40% between April and June 2022, reaching Rs. 130 per liter at the retail level. However, the prices are still higher than the pre-war levels of Rs. 110 per liter in November. The situation may improve further if the war between Ukraine and Russia ends soon and the normal trade resumes through the Black Sea ports.